This is roughly the site of Cambusavy Platform, a station on the Dornoch Light Railway. Nowadays, Dornoch is a good 7 miles from the nearest bit of railway line, which can be found over there, where there was once a station, the Mound Station. We couldn't be bothered going over there, but from here at Cambusavy, we are going to walk all the way along the old railway line as close as possible back to Dornoch. I'm sure this is a brilliant idea. Let's talk a little bit about the origins of the Dornoch Light Railway. In 1868, the Sutherland Railway opened in, Sutherland. However, there was an obstacle in the way, the Dornoch Firth. It was quite easily bridged, but the 3rd Duke of Sutherland wanted it to go via Argyll. Why? I don't know. I didn't pay attention. But either way, the line did not go to Dornoch, and so it was now quite far from the rest of Sutherland. So, a group of Dornoch businessmen came up with a solution. Build their own railway. In 1896, the Light Railway Act was passed, allowing for smaller railways to be built to rural communities. And so, in 1897, the people of Dornoch decided they were going to take advantage of this new opportunity. You can see here where the railway line was. We're not walking there because it seems a bit pointless when there's a nice fresh tarmac road next to it. But later on we will be going on that route rather than the road. The construction of the railway was handled by a Dingle-based firm that then went bust, and they need to hand over the construction to someone else. And in the end, the railway cost about £28,000. The opening in 1902 was attended by Andrew Carnegie, who gave a speech, because he lived in the area as well as New York, but you know. Nice wee bit here. Take a wee look at this. This was originally at Skelbo, but it's been moved for some reason. Look at all this. I'm telling you, being in here is a bit uncomfortable knowing, looking at the quality of that roof. I mean, look at that. It's being held up by, like, cardboard. Look at that. I don't like being in here. I suppose I'll just leave it now. That right there, can't really see it that well, but it's Skelbo Castle, so that's pretty neat. We're nearly at Skelbo, only 2 more stations to go. Another clue that the railway exists. Random fence in a field. There were normally seals here, but we missed them. But on our scouting mission we did see one. Hopefully you've got the picture up here. Did you know that a mother seal's milk, it has roughly double the fat of an ice cream? As you can probably tell, we are no longer on the road. Here we are. We just made it onto the path of the railway for the first time, actually. Cool bridge over there. So yeah, this was a railway bridge, so that's pretty neat. We're on a cool little embankment here, and we are 2.2 miles in of a roughly 7.5 mile journey. So, you know, nearly at the 3rd waypoint. Oh dear. Look at this. This is pretty cool. Look, everybody. It's Skelbo Station. We've made it to our 2nd station we've encountered so far. The 3rd on the line. Only 2 more to go. except the gap between here and Embo is quite far, and it's about the same to Dornoch. Now you might think, oh, it's actually quite easy to do a walk of that magnitude. Yes, but we're lazy, so you know, it's difficult. Quite a few parts of the path are on the John O'Groats trail, which is nice. This is a proper path. Oh, that funky fence post. Also, there's a place there. Look, an old friend. Yet again, a very safe building that could not go wrong at all. Also, a massive pile of poo. Look at that. Look at that. Well, here it is, roughly the halfway point. Yippee! We are now approaching the location of Embo Station. See, I made that rhyme. You like that, didn't you? You better have. The railway was a lifeline to small communities such as Dornoch, Embo, and whatever you'd call Skelbo. Not really a place, is it? But you know, fishermen from Embo would take their fish to market in England by train. They were farmers near Skelbo would take their produce down to Stirling by train. The train was very important. Following the Second World War, the line was worked by trains from the western region of the newly created British Rail. But all good things must come to an end. In 1949, the line was meant to shut down, but thanks to protests and a very valuable hotel in Dornoch, the line stayed open. That was until 1960, when it finally closed down for good. A diesel locomotive was used to help hold up the rails, and it was parked in Skelbo before being driven down south. And so there it was, the end of the Dornoch Light Railway. We haven't reached there yet, we're still just outside Embo, so you know. Nice little bit of coast here. Right, the golf course, roughly 5 miles, not long to go until Dornoch. Yeah. For the first time since Skelbo, we're back on the road, rather than the railway, because it would go right through that field there. We don't want to do that, so I'm going to go on the road instead. Nicely tarmacked. Yeah. Here it is, Dornoch Station, the end of the line. Oh god. If you plan on learning more about the Dornoch Light Railway, or perhaps even visiting here, don't walk the whole way, please.